Hey, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Yoga Church Digital with the amazing Karen Hughes. We're grateful to be with y'all this morning. And I'm going to kick us off with just a brief little Devo. And maybe anybody out there, if you wanted to give a comment or some social media love to Karen for leading us during this time, that would be awesome. Also want to encourage you to invite friends to this. A simple way to do that is through a watch party. So you can just share this, and invite all your friends to Digital Yoga Church today. And also, for those of you that'll be joining later that aren't able to join us live, yes, good morning, Jean. Welcome. Good to see you. You can always join in with us live. You can share this on YouTube, email it out to friends. We just want as many people as possible to be able to experience this. So I'm going to jump into the Christian scriptures, and let me just preface this as always saying we know everybody that joins in with us is not Christian. That's fine. I think some days I wonder if I'm Christian enough. Whatever your spiritual path is, we're just grateful to have this time with you and to be with you. Karen and I are Christians, so that's kind of the spiritual path that we've chosen. We kind of work in. But this really is open to anybody, religious, not religious, spiritual, but not religious, wherever you are in that. So this really beautiful Psalm 8, tells us, "O Lord, our sovereign, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You've set your glory above the heavens, and out of the mouths of babes and infants, you've founded a bulwark to silence the enemies. And when I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars you've established, what are human beings that you are mindful of them? What are mortals that you care for them? Yet you have made them a little lower than gods and crowned them with glory and honor. You've given them dominion over the works of your hand and put all things under their feet." And I think this psalm is just really a majestic statement about God and the beauty of creation, and how creation itself testifies to God and God's goodness and majesty. But it also is about the importance and majesty of human beings, that we're fearfully, wonderfully made in the image of God, crowned and given this kind of position in the earth to be stewards over creation, to care for creation, and actually to be stewards over all living things, and to be stewards over our bodies. So I think one of the most important spiritual practices that we can do is to stink and sweat every day. Now you might think, well, what kind of a spiritual practice is that? But if you think about these human bodies that God's given us, that are fearfully, wonderfully made in the image of God, and that bear the mark of our Creator, if you will. In Christian spirituality, there's no separation, or there shouldn't be. Unfortunately, there's a lot of heresies out there, but there's no separation between body and mind and spirit, as there's some separate and distinct things that are going to be broken apart, right? But there's this vision of human beings as being whole, and our body and our mind and our soul and our emotional life are all connected and integrated. So stinking and sweating every day, doing something to exercise our bodies, doing something to take care of our bodies, is just as much an important spiritual practice as many of the other spiritual practices that we do. Now, if our bodies are sick, that's going to affect our mind, that's going to affect our emotional life, and every other part of us. So I love how Judeo-Christian spirituality holds together the human in this kind of integrated way. And for instance, for today, I'm going to be doing some all-day trainings. I'm going to be working in like 4 different states and 2 continents. I'm going to be in Canada today and in the United States, and then 4 other states doing trainings. And I'm never going to leave my living room. I'm going to do all that from right here in my space. So that's amazing. These digital technologies enable us to connect. But I'm also going to be in front of a screen all day long. Anybody else been having a little bit of screen fatigue, or those of us that do work and primarily our work can be done through digital flows, that can be really exhausting, right? There's this whole new phenomenon called Zoom fatigue and all this because we're in and out of these rooms. So it's even more important for us to pause every day, to breathe in the grandeur of creation, and to move our bodies, and to stink and to sweat, and in some way, by exercising our bodies, we offer our bodies to God, and we're living under that call to be stewards over these fearfully, wonderfully made minds, bodies, and souls that God has given us. So as we enter into yoga practice, that's one of the things we can think about, that this is a way of whole body worship, whatever your spiritual thing is, or maybe yoga is not spiritual at all for you. It's just some physical thing that you do, wherever that is. I know for me, I'm going to try to worship God, get out of my own head, get off the screen. And as Karen leads us through this time of moving our body in these postures of prayer, and honoring God with every dimension of our humanity. So again, thank you, Karen, for your time today, and I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you, Michael. Well, good morning. Welcome to yoga. Let us start in a very comfortable seated position, and let us begin with breath, which is the heart of yoga. Maybe close your eyes so that you can be more aware of what's happening as you breathe. Let us close our eyes and inhale and exhale through the nose. Just being aware of what's happening as you inhale and what's happening as you exhale. So we take this time in the beginning of our practice to be aware of our breath, but also to clear our mind of any clutter, any expectations, any negativity, and maybe just listen to your heart, listen to your soul, and maybe you will come up with an intention for your practice today. It's not something you have to do, but maybe there's something on your mind that you can meditate on. Maybe it's something as simple as showing more grace as you go through your day, the week. Maybe it's forgiveness. Maybe it's just being healthier. Maybe it's accomplishing something that you wanted to accomplish. Let us just breathe and listen to our mind as we clear all the clutter out of our mind. And now we'll take our breath with our eyes closed into a purifying breath, inhaling as deep as you can in through the nose, a long inhale, all the way down deep into the belly, only to exhale through the mouth. Inhale deep in through the nose. And then as you exhale through the mouth, exhale all of the old air through your mouth. Inhale in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Continue to breathe this purifying breath, maybe inhaling goodness and love and energy and just a peace into your being, and exhaling anything that contradicts those spirits, those good fruits, joy, and love and grace and kindness and forgiveness. And one more big purifying breath, inhaling as deep as you can in through the nose, followed by a long exhale through the mouth. And return to normal breath, in through the nose and out through the nose. Use your breath today to guide all of your movements today. And know that this is your practice, so you should listen to your body and only do what is comfortable and feels good for your body. So let us start with our hands out, palms up. Inhale to float the hands up towards the heavens. Exhale, hands over heart center, and namaste. Inhale to float the hands up, reaching out, big stretch, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And one more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, Reach your arms out as long as you can, floating your fingertips softly to your mat. As we go into some side stretches, you're going to lift up your left palm. Reach up for strength and over for flexibility. And this is a good time to practice using your breath to guide your movement. So you don't have to follow me. You can go slower if you would like, or you can go faster. Whatever your breath is, let it determine and guide your movement in the practice. Let's hold up our left arm up towards the ceiling and then just rotate it down all the way down to the outside of your right leg. Tuck your chin, look at your belly, and round the spine. Inhale. And on the exhale, go on and gaze up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, reach the left arm up and over as you reach your right hand up and over, this time dropping your right hand down to the side of your leg. Inhale to round the spine. Exhale to gaze up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And on the exhale, go on and float that right hand back all the way over. Rest your hands by your hips on your mat. As we do a few little neck stretches, sit as tall as you can, grow through the crown of your head, and drop your chin to your chest. Gaze down to your belly and stretch the back of your neck. Let your head be heavy here. Let your shoulders rest down below your ears. As we drop our chin to our chest a little more, go on and let your spine go. Let your rib cage cave in and your shoulders round forward. Let your head get heavier and heavier as you round through the spine, creating more space between each vertebra. And inhale and exhale. Inhale, and on the exhale, go on and roll your chin slowly up to your left shoulder. And when you get there, grow tall through the crown of the head. As we go into our half neck circles with breath, inhale to drop the chin to the chest, once again, letting the spine round. And exhale, come up towards your right shoulder, grow tall once again. Inhale to drop the chin to the chest. And exhale, slowly come up to your left shoulder. And one more half neck circle. Inhale. Exhale, sit nice and tall. Bring your gaze back to the center and grow tall through the crown of the head. As you drop your left earlobe towards your left shoulder. Inhale. And on the exhale, go on and lift your head back to the center as you slowly look over your right shoulder with breath. Inhale. And exhale, come back to the center. Pull your belly into your spine and grow just a little bit taller as you drop your right earlobe towards your right shoulder with a heavy head. Inhale, and on the exhale, lift the head back up and slowly look over your left shoulder with breath. Inhale to look over the shoulder. And exhale to come back to the center. Go ahead and bring your hands to your knees. If you are not comfortable with folded legs, it's okay to take your feet out in front. We bend our knees just a little bit to protect the spine. Let us move into a seated cat and cow. Inhale to drop the chin, round the spine, and that is your seated cat pose. On the exhale, hinge forward, lift your heart, lift your gaze, fill your lungs up with air. Exhale into seated cat pose. Inhale into seated cow. And exhale. Inhale. And let's hold our cat pose as we exhale and continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale. And exhale, come back to tall spine. Go ahead and straighten your legs as we go into our staff pose, pointing your toes up towards the ceiling. Sitting as tall as you can. Inhale. And on the exhale, reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then hinge forward 2 or 3 breaths. So you're elongating through the arms Feel the energy flow through your fingers. Feel the energy as you lengthen through the spine, lengthen through your legs, feeling the energy go through your heels, and breathe. And you can stay here, or you can join me for a forward fold, bringing your nose towards your knees, and know that a forward fold is contraindicated if you're over 60. So slowly, maybe you bend your knees a little, reach for your toes, reach for the sides of your feet, and then just breathe. Just let it go. And maybe if you have any tightness in the backs of your legs, you can exhale and inhale with each breath, just letting go a little bit of any tension or tightness you may have. Use your breath here to release anything that doesn't feel right. Maybe bend your knees, and with each breath, maybe you straighten your knees just a little bit. And then on the next breath, slowly round your spine back up to tall spine. One vertebra stacking on top of the other at a time. As you lift up your right knee, go on and cross your right foot over your left leg. As we go into Lord of the Fishes pose, you're going to take your left elbow around your knee or to the outside of your knee, and then rotate around to your right, lifting your heart, lifting your gaze, and breathing deep. Inhale, and on the exhale, slowly come back to the center as you pull your right heel towards your left hip for half cow face. And you can stay here, or if you want to go into a full cow face, go on and swing that left heel back by your right hip, stacking the knees and cow face. From here, we can go into a nice spinal rotation. Just rotate to your left. Inhale. And on the exhale, come back to the center. And to the right, inhale. And exhale, come back to the center. Go on and lean back, straighten your legs, but keep them crossed for a crossed leg stack pose. So you can stay here, limping through the legs, pointing the toes up to the ceiling, or reach your arms up high. Inhale. And exhale, only hinge 2 or 3 inches, where maybe you stay. Maybe you pause here and breathe, or maybe you forward fold, reaching for the toes. Once again, dropping the nose towards the knees and breathe. Inhale on the exhale, going around the spine up to tall spine, uncross the legs as you pull your left knee in, cross your left foot over your right leg as we go into another spinal rotation or Lord of the Fishes. You can either take your elbow, opposite elbow around your knee and rotate, or maybe you take your whole right arm to the outside of the left leg. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, and breathe. Inhale and exhale, come back to the center and go on and pull that left heel towards your right hip for half cow face. Sit nice and tall. If you want to go into a full cow face, you can go in and swing that right heel back by your left hip, stacking both knees, sitting nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears as we go into another spinal rotation. First, we'll rotate to our right. Inhale, and on the exhale, come back to the center, and then to the right, inhale, and then back to the center, exhale. Going and straighten your legs once again for a cross-leg stack pose, sitting nice and tall, floating the fingers up as high as you can reach, hinging 2 or 3 inches, maybe pausing there, or maybe you forward fold, reaching for your toes and bringing your nose towards your knees and breathe. On the next breath, slowly round back up to tall spine, stacking the spine one vertebra on top of the other to be kind to your spine. Let's go into a seated butterfly. You can keep your feet out with the soles of the feet pressing in towards each other, or maybe you pull them in. Maybe you want more, you can wiggle forward, grab hold of your knees, calves, shins, whatever feels good for you and for your body. Sit as tall as you can as you push your knees away from each other, pulling your belly into your spine and growing tall. So you can stay here, or maybe you can float your elbows over your inner knees, and then gently drop your chin to your chest as you softly press your knees towards your mat. Let your nose fall towards your feet, and your eyes gaze to your belly, and breathe. Inhale, and on the exhale, begin to slowly round back up to tall spine as we bring our knees back together. We're going to transition to our hands and knees for a kneeling cat and cow. If you can't come to your knees, you can always do it seated as we just did. Otherwise, on your hands and knees, wrists are underneath the shoulders, and knees and hands and feet are all in alignment. As you tuck your chin around your spine, lifting up the space between your shoulder blades, kind of like a Halloween cat. And then slowly we will move into kneeling cow. Soften your elbows, wrists, and shoulders as you drop your belly towards your mat. And lift your gaze, lift your heart. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, and come back to flat back. Go on and curl your toes under, just tuck them under, and feel the stretch on the bottom of your feet, the soles of your feet, as you press your heels towards the back of the mat, and your toes are curled under. We're going to go into a little plank here. This is my favorite plank, especially for anyone with lower back issues, because you can't drop your hips, so your back is much safer here. Just lift your knees about 2 inches. As you pull your belly into your spine and breathe. And from here, we're just going to lift our knees, lift your sits bones, let your gaze go to your knees in downward dog. As we begin to pedal, the left heel comes down, right, left, right, left, right, and left. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Both heels come down. As you slowly, with your eyes on your knees, walk your hands toward your toes. Hang down like a rag doll. Maybe even cross your arms, hold on to your elbows to let your head get a little heavier. It's okay to bend your knees and rest your chest on your thighs if you need to. Or maybe you just straighten them out with each breath. Go on and drop your hands in front of your toes. Lift up your heels and drop your buttocks to your heels. This is called crouch pose. Inhale and exhale. Coming back into a standing forward fold as you drop your heels. Lift your sits bones back up. Let your nose come a little closer towards your knees. Go on and flip your palms out. Soften your knees and reverse one all the way up to standing. Inhale. And exhale, hands over, heart center. You can go on and turn to the long side of your mat and spread your feet nice and wide as we warm up our core temperature. We're going to go on and float our arms out and then up into a Y. As we go into some squats, or I call them moonflowers, turn your toes out slightly. Unless you have any knee injuries, then you want your feet straight forward. So listen to your body here. Maybe you just do a little squat, inhale and exhale. So moonflowers are really all about your breath. Inhale and exhale. Now we'll move into sunflower. So you're just making the shape of a sunflower with your arms. Inhale and exhale. And one more, inhale and exhale. Bring your arms back out into a T. Standing straddle split. Swing your heels out so that your feet are parallel. Hinge over into good morning pose, halfway down. Elongated through the arms, the legs, and from the tailbone, through the spine, all the way through the crown of the head. You can stay here or join me for a revolving triangle, dropping your left hand underneath the chest. Maybe you have a block to bring the floor a little closer, or a towel or a pillow. Float your right arm up and reach with your gaze, hands up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale back into good morning pose as you drop your other hand down and float your opposite hand up towards the ceiling and breathe. Inhale. And exhale, go and bring both hands underneath your chest. Look through your legs. And then we're going to do a few little side lunges here. Lunge to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, and hold that lunge to your right as you turn both feet to the right into a deep runner's lunge. You can drop your knee if that's more comfortable, or you can keep it up. We're going to go into our warrior series from here. So go on and take your hands on top of your knee and lift up your upper body. Be careful here. Float your arms up. Reach. The higher you reach, the easier it is to stabilize as we are in crescent lunge. Go on and turn your back foot out to the side and you're in warrior one. Drop your back arm to the back and your right arm to the front. You're in warrior two. So warrior two is a reset pose if you feel off balance, or maybe it's just a challenge you're not up to today. You can come into warrior two. And then peaceful warrior, dropping your back hand to your back leg and your front palm comes up, reach up towards the ceiling, or you can take it a little bit deeper, reaching up into the back. Inhale. And exhale back into warrior two. As we go into side angle, you're going to drop that front elbow to that front thigh. Float your back hand up. Gaze down to your big toe, or you can gaze up to your top hand. Maybe you want more, slide the hand down, reach up, up, up. With your top hand, gaze up, or gaze down to protect the neck. Slowly come back into warrior two. As we go into triangle, go on and straighten your front knee, hand your upper body forward, drop your front hand to your thigh or to your shin, lift your back hand up and you're in triangle pose. Inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to bend that front knee, drop your hand down, turn your back foot, you're back into that deep runner's lunge. As we walk back to the center, into straddle split, hands under the chest, look through your legs. As we go back into a few lunges, we're going to lunge to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, and hold that lunge as you turn both feet to the left as we go into our warrior series on this side. So you're going to take your hands on top of your knee or your thigh, reach your hands up into crescent lunge, and breathe. As you turn your back foot out to the side, you're in warrior one. Go on and drop your right arm to the back and your left arm forward, gazing down your fingers in warrior two. And then peaceful warrior, drop the back hand, flip the front palm up, reach up towards the ceiling, and breathe. If you want a little more, you can reach a little bit higher, come all the way to the back. And come back into warrior two. And then side angle, dropping that front elbow to that front thigh, reaching your back hand up, gazing up or gazing down, or maybe you want a little bit deeper stretch, go into a full extended side angle. And then come back into warrior two as we move into triangle. Go on and straighten out that front knee, hinge your upper body forward, drop your hand to your thigh or to your shin, and up, gaze down to your big toe. And then go on and bend that right knee as you float that top hand down. Turn your back foot, your back into that nice deep runner's lunge with your knee up or your knee down, and breathe. And then we're going to lift our hips, walk your hands back to the center to your standing straddle split through your legs. Maybe you want a little bit more stretch. You can take your toes out and heels out as wide as you can and drop your crown of your head to your mat, or maybe to a fist, or maybe you just keep your arms straight. And then we'll slowly bring our heels in, big toes in, heels, toes, until your feet are back together. Reverse one up by bending your knees, taking your hands, reaching all the way up, inhale, exhale. Next, we're going to go into tree pose. And looking at the screen, it looks like my head might be chopped off. I apologize about that. I'll just back up just a little for tree pose. So on tree pose, we're going to do it in a progression style. So you stay where you need to, or maybe you get next to something where you need to hold on. That's perfectly okay. So first, we're going to lift up our left heel and then turn your left foot. And then maybe you slide your foot up a little or a lot. Maybe you take your sole of your foot and put it on the inside of your thigh for a traditional tree pose. Wherever you think you can hold your pose for 5 breaths, that's where you should be. Let it challenge you. Inhale, and on the exhale, I'm going to drop that foot. Let's move into Tadasana, mountain pose. Palms are forward, shoulders are relaxed. Let's close our eyes and breathe 3 breaths. Remember your intention if you have one. If not, just take this time to be still. To just open up space in your mind and breathe. On the next breath, open your eyes. Inhale to float the hands up. Exhale, hands over, heart center. I like to switch the arm position on our second tree pose. So maybe your arms are just out. Maybe you're a tall tree. Maybe you're a tree with branches. Lifting up your right heel, letting it sit against your inside left ankle. Maybe you float your foot up a little or a lot. Maybe you keep your big toe down. Breathe 5 breaths here. Breathe and just meditate on whatever it is that your heart is telling you to meditate. Inhale, on the exhale, go on and just release that tree pose. So we are going to come to the front of our mats to go into our vinyasas. So come onto the front of your mat, and we will reach our hands up, an upward salute, only to forward fold down, and then step back into downward dog. If downward dog is not for you, you can always go into child's pose instead. And from here, we're going to drop into a full plank. You can bring your knees up or down, or if you have wrist issues, it's perfectly okay to go to your elbows. Pull your belly into your spine. Be sure you're not sagging. Be sure that you're straight like a board, and breathe. And from here, we're going to slowly lower our whole body down to the mat. Uncurl your toes, squeeze your elbows in. As we move into Cobra, know that your lower disc will compress. So if you have back issues, maybe you just lift an inch or two, lifting your chin and your chest, or maybe your body allows you to lift a little higher. And breathe in Cobra. And from Cobra, we're going to lift our hips and bring them to our heels into an extended child's pose. You can stay in child's pose or join me in the downward dog. Inhale. And exhale. Going to drop the shoulders over the wrist once again for your plank. Pulling your belly into your spine. You can go back to Cobra here or join me for Chaturanga. Chaturanga, you squeeze your elbows in, hold your body up and breathe. In. Maybe you can't hold it any longer, so you drop down into your Cobra. Push back into child's pose for 1 breath. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes under. Inhale, back into downward dog. Exhale back into plank. Hold for 3 breaths. Our next is going to be up dog. Now you can do Cobra or you can just come all the way to Chaturanga, or you can join me for up dog. And up dog, you just uncurl the toes, float your hips down towards your mat. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. What a great stretch this is. Drop your knees, push back into child's pose, only for 1 breath. Inhale, unless you're staying there. Exhale, come back into downward dog. Inhale, on the exhale, come back into plank, and we're going to take it into a side plank. So you can drop your knee and float your left arm up, or maybe you straighten your leg. Maybe you even stack your ankles. Inhale, and exhale, come back into plank, and then drop your knees back into child's pose. Inhale, exhale, back into downward dog. Inhale. Exhale back into plank. You can stay there, or you can drop me for a side plank, dropping your knee, or maybe you keep that knee up and exhale. Float that top hand down, drop back down to your knees. This time we'll stay in child's pose for 3 breaths. Maybe you take your hands back by your ankles with your palms up. Go on and breathe 3 breaths there in child's pose. Inhale on the exhale, come on back up to hands and knees, separate the knees. Go on and slide your left fingers far out in front, as far as you can reach, and then float your arm up. Flip your pinky up and take your pinky up towards the ceiling as you open up to the left side of your body. And then we're going to go into some dancing lines. You'll take this left pinky back by your left ankle as you circle your hips. So the slower you move here, the more joint release you will feel. Inhale and exhale. On this next one, let's keep our pinky up to prepare for threading the needle as you drop your hand under your chest, through your arm, dropping your ear and shoulder to the mat. Maybe you lift up that right hand and put it on the small of your back. Breathe 3 breaths here. Inhale and exhale, come back to hands and knees as we slide our right fingers as far out in front as we can. Float your right arm up, reach with your arm, flip your right pinky up, take it up to the ceiling, open up through the right side of your body. As we go into dancing lines on this side, you'll take the pinky back by your ankles, circle your hips as you circle your arm. Inhale and exhale. This is nice, and you can let your breath guide you in this movement of dancing lines. Inhale. Exhale. On this next one, we're going to keep that pinky up, reaching up towards the ceiling as we prepare to thread the needle, taking the hand under the chest, through the arm, dropping the ear and the shoulder to your mat. Maybe lifting up that left hand and putting on the small of your back. And breathe 3 breaths here. Inhale. And on the exhale, come back to hands and knees. I'm just going to swing around so you can see me come up to kneeling. And then float your arms out nice and long. Reach with your arms. You're going to take your left foot out and then slide your left leg long. So your left foot is turned to help you balance. And then we're going to go into gate pose. So you're going to drop that right hand to the floor, left hand up. It's kind of like a modified side plank. Inhale. And on the exhale, come back to the center, only to drop that left hand to your left leg as you reach the right arm up and over. My favorite stretch. And breathe 3 breaths here. Inhale on the exhale, come back into long arms in the T. Slide that left foot in and that left knee next to the right knee. And then we're just going to go into Camel before we go to the other side. Bring your hands, kneeling Camel, behind your lower back and drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Go ahead and squeeze your elbows towards each other and then press your hips forward. It's contraindicated to roll your head back if you're over 60, so maybe you just gaze down. Or if your body allows you to, you can go ahead and roll your head back for traditional kneeling Camel. And on the next breath, slowly come back up to tall kneeling, foot, the arms out. They are your stability stabilizers as you take your right foot out, slide your right leg long, turning your right foot so you're nice and stable. And then slowly with long arms, drop the left fingers to the left of your left knee, reach your other arm up high, gaze up or gaze down, and breathe. And from here, we come back into arms in a long T, only to drop the right hand to the right leg, lift your left hand up and over for gate pose. Inhale on the exhale, come back to arms in a long T. Slide that right foot in, drop the right knee down, bring the feet and the knees towards each other, and then bring your arms out in front. Next, we're going to lean back with a long spine, maybe just an inch. So if that hurts your knees, don't go any farther, and then come back forward. So inhale to lean back, exhale to come forward. We can add to this, you can drop your left fingers to your left heel, and come up, and then right, and come back. Be sure you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Maybe both hands. Inhale and exhale. And if you want more, you can bring your hands back, rest them on your heels. Remember, it's contraindicated if you're over 60, drop your head back. Inhale, exhale, come forward. Inhale to float the hands up. Exhale, hands over, heart center. And we're going to come back down to our buttocks with our feet out in front. So you want to scoot close to your heels or bring your heels close to your buttocks. And use your hands on your knees to grow as tall as you can. And then slowly roll past your tailbone. Bring your hands behind your knees so that you have something to hold on to. Gaze down to your belly, pull your belly into your spine, drop your shoulders, lift your chin, lift your heart, lift one leg into tabletop, then the other. And then maybe you reach your arms out, boat pose. Or maybe you do a full Pilates teaser or full boat pose. And breathe. Inhale and exhale, drop the feet, hands behind the knees, roll forward, grow tall. And one more rolling past the tailbone as we transition onto our spine. Slowly roll down one vertebra at a time, bringing your knees into your chest. Close your eyes, bear hug your knees, and gently rock them side to side. Going to float your arms out into a T. Drop the soles of your feet to your mat. Let your feet be about shoulder width apart. As you drop both knees towards the floor on the right and gaze to your left. Breathe 3 breaths here. On the next breath, go on and float your knees back to the center along with your gaze as you slowly let your knees drop to the other side and you gaze in the opposite direction. And again, breathe 3 breaths here. Inhale, and on the exhale, bring the knees back to the center. Slide your hands back to your mat. Flip your palms down. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. So you're going to press your lower back into the mat and pull your belly into your spine. Inhale. And on the exhale, release the tilt. Inhale to pull the belly into the spine, push the lower back to the mat as we move into bridge. Inhale to peel the spine up into bridge pose, and exhale to slowly peel the spine down, tucking the belly into the spine. Inhale to peel up, and exhale to peel down. And one more, inhale to peel up. Now you can roll back down or you can hold your bridge pose, lifting your hips higher, interlocking your fingers underneath your hips, and breathe 3 breaths there. Inhale, and on the exhale, slowly release. If you're up, roll your spine down, just peel it down. And then let the soles of the feet come together as the knees drop away from each other, and supine butterfly. Float your arms out to a T. If you want a little more relaxation, palms are up. If your lower back hurts here, it's okay. It just means you need to press your lower back into the mat a little bit more, pulling your belly into your spine. So you're tilting your pelvis up. That should release any awkwardness or any pain you might feel in your lower back in supine butterfly. Slowly float the knees back up, separating the feet and the knees about 6 bones width apart. Go on and lift your feet, grab your knees, and pull your right knee to your right armpit and your left knee to your left armpit. Modified happy baby. You can stay here, or if you want more, lift your big toes up over your knees to grab hold of them, and you're in a full happy baby. Maybe you rock like a baby rocks in bed. And from here, we're going to bring our knees together, lift our legs up as though they were sitting against the wall, legs up the wall. Drop your hands down. So in legs up the wall, you can support your legs. The idea, though, is for your legs to be weightless while your body is grounded. Let's go and float our arms back into a T with your palms up. You can stay here for our Savasana, our final relaxation, or maybe you float your feet down and straighten your legs. Left heel to the left corner of the mat and right to the right corner of the mat. As we go into the most important part of our practice today, Savasana, total relaxation. Close your eyes, melt into your mat, and breathe. Just be still and take this time to just be. Close your eyes and relax. Relax your mind, relax your body, relax your spirit. Just relax your breath. Total relaxation. The more you can relax, the more energy that will flow through your body. So try really hard to just be, to just relax. Relax your toes, the balls of your feet, the arches of your feet, your heels, your legs, behind your knees, your thighs, your buttocks. Relax your back, your lower back, your middle back, and your upper back. Relax your shoulders and your arms, the insides of your elbows and your wrist, the palms of your hands. Your palms are facing upward. Relax your fingers, let them bend and part naturally. Relax your thumbs. Relax your hip bones and your pelvis, your belly, your rib cage, your chest. Relax your neck, your scalp. Relax all the muscles in your face. Relax your forehead and your eyebrows, your eyelids, your cheekbones, your nose, your chin. Relax your jaw, your teeth. Unclench them, let them part. Let your tongue fall away from your teeth. Relax your lips and just be total relaxation. So relaxed, you just feel your breath, your inhale and your exhale. As we move into a purifying breath, inhaling as deep as you can, in through the nose, so deep your tummy rises up. Pause. And then exhale all of that old air out of your body, renewing the old air for new air. Inhale deep. Let me hear your exhale, or let the others in your house hear your exhale. Let yourself hear your exhale. Shh. And again, inhale. Loud exhale. Shh. And one more long, slow inhale. Pause and long, slow exhale. Return to normal breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then slowly, with your eyes closed, roll over onto your side and just be opening up your heart and letting your heart be filled with love. May your hearts be filled with grace, gratitude, and with peace. And slowly make your way up to a seated position. As we come to our close, I'd like to close with the opportunity to lift up any prayer request. And I encourage you to sit in Sadasana, which is accomplished pose. It is a pose that is traditionally used for meditation. So you can just pull your left heel in and then take your right foot on top of your left knee or your left calf. Bring your hands to your knees, let your palms be up. Close your eyes and let us pray for each other. You can type in any prayer request, and your prayers will be seen by others who can pray for you throughout the week. Or you can just openly say them out loud or say them silently to yourself. We are praying for each other in spirit. The Spirit of God. Let us open our eyes, sit nice and tall, take your arms out long, your palms up. Inhale to float the hands up. Exhale, hands over, heart center. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you have a peaceful day. Namaste. Michael will be with us.
Amen. Thank you, Karen. Can you all give some thanks and some praise for Karen leading us today in the comment section, and some likes and some loves. So we're gonna close today with the Lord's Prayer. It's the Christian prayer that Jesus taught his disciples. It kind of covers all of our bases. And for those of you that posted prayer requests, we will actually pray for those throughout the week as well. So thank you for sharing those. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and glory, forever. Amen.